Hey guys, sorry, just a minute. Uh, yeah, so I think uh, yesterday's class, yeah, you have pretty much practiced some of the stuff that I've taught you yesterday, right? So yeah, let me share my screen. Yeah, so we've seen this how to create button. Yeah, there is one more thing called field dependency. So that comes under fields. Okay, when you create a field, you'll be able to make one field dependent with other. So I can tell you that I can give you one good example. Okay, for example, if you're going to fill any form in internet, okay. So imagine you're going to fill your first name, last name, email ID, phone number, and they will ask you some of the other details like your country, state, and city, right? So once you choose your country out of all the available countries in the world, so there are like more than 186 countries, right? So those thing will be available in a pick list field. Okay. So once you select India, only the states that are present in India are going to be displayed in a state field. Okay. So imagine there are like 186 plus countries, and each countries would have like minimum like 5 to 10 states, right? So if you take for 186 countries, it's going to be more than 2000. So it will be very hectic for you to search each and every thing. Okay. So it's going to be really hectic for you to search each and every state, like which state is your thing belonging to. Okay. So that's when you would be observing that once you select India, they're going to display all the states that are present in India, like all these 28 plus states, right? And once you choose the state, so for example, you get all the state like Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Uttarakhand, all these things, okay? So in South, yeah, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, all these states. So once you select Tamil Nadu in a state thing, and in the city, you're going to be displayed only with the cities that are corresponding to uh, Tamil Nadu. Okay, so once you select Tamil Nadu, it's going to display like Coimbatore, Chennai, Madurai, Trichy, okay, Kanyakumari, all these places they're going to show. They're not going to show the places that are that belongs to Kerala, because you have chose a yeah, you have chose a field dependency, and you have already defined the field dependency by default. Okay. So now you can see that I have already created one field dependency between the objects. Okay. So yeah, today's topic we are going to see field dependencies and how are these field dependencies going to be. And yeah, I'm going to tell about app exchange and search layout. Yeah, pretty much I've told you, and also record type also I've told you like how to create a new record type and assign page layouts to different record types. Okay. And yeah, and yeah, let's go to configuration after this. Okay. So when I say configuration, it's going to be security settings. Okay. So it's going to be like profile permission set, OWD, role hierarchy, sharing rules, all these things. Okay. So these are something called as configuration part. So you'll be pretty much able to, so basically your client will come up with issues like they have issues in accessing this, accessing that. So these parts are all responsible for that thing. Okay. So initially, as a consultant, you need to be in a good position to identify why that user is not able to see particular data. Okay. So the thing that you will be seeing is okay, initial thing. So it's just like a investigation. Okay. So user is going to come and say, hey, I'm not able to see this data, I belong to this profile. So even if he doesn't tell your profile, you're going to type his name and see to which profile he's assigned to. And when you find that thing exactly like which profile he's related to, you'll click on that profile to see uh, for which object and all does the profile have access to. Okay, so only the things that you define in the profile level for that, and as per the settings that you set in the profile, it's going to be visible for the users that are tagged under that profile. Okay, so he might not know to which profile he has been tagged to. Okay, so he's simply going to say, hey, my the other person, he's able to see, I'm not able to see. So that time, as I told you, you shouldn't directly change anything in the profile. So these are the things that you shouldn't directly change anything, because once you change anything in the profile settings, okay, all the users under that profile are going to have the changes reflected. Okay, it's not that the only okay, that user is obviously going to have what he has asked for. But if you take other users who have not requested for it, imagine you're giving access to some sensitive part of the data in the org. So your business is going to blame you, saying, hey, they shouldn't be able to see this data, and yeah, this is against a policy. Okay, so they're going to throw it back on you. So that's why it's always important that whenever they say any access issues or access type of issue, and once you find out why he's not able to see that data, and if at all, if you need to do any profile level changes, you shouldn't directly do it. You should inform your client saying, hey, your user, your employee, he has come to us saying that he has some issues with this and he is not able to see this data. Can we provide access to this data to him? Okay, or to his profile. So if they're saying, okay, doesn't matter if all the users under his profile is having access to this data, they should actually have access to this data. So in that situation, you can do direct changes on the profile level. Otherwise, if at all, if you wanted to give it with respect to that person alone, you'll be creating a new permission set and assigning that particular permission set to that particular user, so that the user under that profile, right? So all the users under that profile will not have this access. Only he'll be having access to that special data, because we have created a permission set and assigned him to that. Okay, and yeah, I will tell that in detail. Just have this in mind. Okay, I think Alagendri and Kishore, I have taught them, but still this is something important, so that's why I just made a pause, and I'm kind of like, yeah. Okay, so list you something that you already know. With the help of Wistiu, you'll be able to, like, yeah. Let me open this and show you. So these are list you. Okay, so once you click this, list views, right? So these are list you can pretty much see all the list like all the records are going to be. And I created a custom list called ducky manufacturer. Okay, so if you wanted to see the filter criteria, you can select this filter criteria, and I have selected like type of sock animal. So this is one of the field in account. Okay, so if at all, if it contains ducky, then this, I mean, like all the records that satisfies this filter criteria is going to be displayed here. So as of now, I don't have any record. Okay, I don't have any record to have this in place. Like I don't have any record with the type of sock animal value as the key. Okay, but if I have, I can get that here. So maybe I can show you one demo. No, I don't have it in layout. Maybe I can add that and show you. So yeah, so this is the list view. Okay. So this the criteria that is used in the list view. Like if at all, if the value that you input here, okay. So if at all, if the value that you input in the type of sock animal, if at all, if it contains the keyword called ducky, okay. So maybe let me create this as a new one, then you'll be able to get it. So okay. So if at all, if it has ducky, then it's going to be visible there, okay. So I'm going to have ducky. It's not like it should have only ducky. It can have anything, okay? Any value like A, B, C, D, all these things. And if at all, if it contains ducky, okay? Now you will be able to see that in the list view, okay? Let me go this, and if I see ducky manufacturer, okay, I'll get this one record which I changed, right? So once I, if I wanted to edit, I'm going to click on this edit button and okay, this is disabled. Never mind. Okay. See what happens if I, remove this one. So it's not going to be present because I have selected the filter as all company and another criteria saying that if at all, if the type of sock animal contains a value called ducky, then it should be visible here. Okay. Yeah, so that's the thing. So that's called as a list view and tabs, as already told you, like there are different tabs. Hyperlink, so the one which you see here, okay, so that is called web link. So I think, okay, you have website here, right? So this is called as web tab, okay, web link or web tab, anything, okay. And you have VF page tab, so that is something related to Visual Force page. Visual Force page is something related to coding part, okay. So when you kind of have that thing, you will have that. And Lightning tab is something that is called as custom Lightning tab, and that's also something related to coding part, okay. So you're going to use your LWC or Aura component and all. So that's something called as a Lightning tab. And custom object tab is something that you have it here, okay. So mills is something I created as a custom object, and this is called as custom object tab, okay. So the ones that you see on the navigation, so this is called as navigation bar, okay. They address this as navigation bar because even in computer, even in our desktop, we have this task bar, okay. So similarly, they say that has navigation bar, and in that navigation bar you'll be pretty much able to customize, okay. I have disabled it, but you will be able to edit it by yourself. Otherwise you can go to, like, yeah, I will show you once I get to the app manager, okay. In the app manager you can simply rearrange this tabs or have any tab removed from this navigation bar, okay. So yeah, so these are all the things that are considered as tabs. So these three things you will be learning once you get to the coding part, okay. And field dependency, as I already told you, uh, I was saying, right, like if at all, if you wanted to have any field dependent, so if you're going to choose any state as Tamil Nadu, and it should automatically display all the cities that are there in uh, Tamil Nadu, right? Like without you clicking save itself. So this is one of the options that you will be able to do before save itself. Okay. So that's one of the feature that Salesforce provided. Okay. So yeah, 1 second, guys. I think I took the wrong one. Yeah. So you'll be able to see the one that Salesforce has provided. Okay. So let me go to this object and see which which has the dependency. Okay. So you can see the field dependencies here. Okay. So this is the buttons that is provided by Salesforce. So I will detailedly tell you. Okay. So if at all, if you have, if you wanted to create any new field, of course, you're going to click on this. And if you wanted to see which are all the fields that I have already deleted. Okay, so you can click on this and see, and you have a catch here. So I don't have any field that I've deleted here. So maybe I can delete one field and show you like how you know how this thing works. Okay, it's going to ask you whether to delete, and you're going to click on this delete. So once you click on this delete, all the data related to that field is going to be erased. Okay, so once you click on this deleted field, you're going to have that field here. It's just like how you use in our system, right? Like once you go to recycle bin, and if you want any data, you can restore it. So that's why you have both option available here. Okay, both the options are available. So if at all, if you wanted to delete this field permanently, you can click on erase. Otherwise, if you wanted to restore it, you can click on undelete. Okay, so once you click on this, you are again going to get back that field in place. Okay, so that's one of the thing. And here you have field dependencies. So here in field dependencies, I have actually given industry and sub industry as a dependent field. Okay, so let me search where is uh, sub industry. So yeah, you have industry. So I don't have that in page layout. So let me go and add that to page layout. Okay. So let me go to this page layout record and then click on this uh, particular record which I'm seeing this record in. And I want something like sub industry, right? So yeah, sub industry. Okay, let me see if at all. So I have industry, but okay, let me select agriculture. Okay, I'm not able to get it. Okay, let me create a new record and see. So yeah, let me go to this record and then click on clone. Okay. Okay, I don't have clone. Mhm. Okay. Okay, guys. So yeah, let me. Maybe I'll go to contact and try to create a new account. So yeah, I'm going to give text uh, and and account name. Of course, I'm going to create a new company here. Okay, and name, I'm giving some random name, and I'm going to click on no. And okay, industry I don't have. So let me. So now you see that in page layout you have this field here, but in the real page you'll not be able to see the particular field, right? You're able to see only industry. So the thing that you will be doing here is you need to go why that field is not visible. Okay, so let me go to sub industry and see why that is not visible. Okay, so I'm going to click on set field level security. Hmm. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, for system admin. Yeah, I have visibility for system admin, right? Let me hide this. Yeah, I have. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So I have visibility for system admin. Okay. So now I'm going to see why this is not present. Okay. So I think I'm seeing in sales or support. So let me go to page layout assignment. Okay. So you also need to confirm to which page layout, which thing has been assigned to. Okay. So master is something that you're going to have by default, and system admin, yeah, and for sales R type, record type, you have account sales. Okay.
Charan, your screen is not visible.
Okay. Now it's visible, right? When I hide this
No.
floating meeting thing, right? Icons, I'm yeah, blank screen. So let me not switch this off. Okay, I'm not sure. Maybe there is some
Okay.
catch issues. I'll look into it. No problem. Okay. Now you're able to see, right?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, done. So yeah, so you pretty much have these things where you have industry. So this is the layout that you have. Okay, so this is the layout that is being correspondent to this one. So you just have industry and you need to add sub industry. So you don't have sub industry, so I'm just going to add the sub industry and click on save. And once you go to the company record, okay, so there you can have, okay, now I'm going to click on this and click on new company. And now you can see that sub industry value is visible. Okay. So now I'm going to give some value and I'm going to show you how this dependency works. Okay. So now I'm going to click on agriculture. So all the values that are responding to corresponding to agriculture value are going to be displayed on the sub industry. So what if I select banking? So in banking, I'm going to get the value. So I think I haven't set the dependencies. Okay, maybe I'll do it now. Okay. So let me go to this field and to set the dependencies. Okay, you need to go to the child field. Okay, when I say this particular field is dependent on this field, so the value that you're going to give here, based on that, the values that you will be selecting to be visible will be displayed here. Okay, so now I'm going to show. And here, so in whichever field you take, you'll be having this option called pick list options. Okay, so there you'll be able to make one field dependent to another. Okay, there is one controlling. So controlling field is called the parent field because yeah, based on this field only the sub industry value will be displayed. So that's why they are calling this as controlling field. Okay, the parent field is called controlling field, and the field which is dependent on the parent field is called as dependent field. Okay, so remember these two things: parent field is controlling field and dependent field is called as dependent field. Okay, so this field is dependent on this parent field, right? So you need to click on this change, okay, in order to know how to set the things. Okay. Okay, and you have industry here and sub industries, all these things are here. Okay, so imagine now I haven't set any value here. Okay, so yeah, you have values here, but you need to select this and click on include values. Only then once you click on this agriculture, it's going to display whichever values I want. So imagine under agriculture, I have garage and lot. Okay. And in apparel, I have something like bar, casual dining, fine dining. Okay. And in banking, I have got lot, casual dining. Okay, and in biotechnology, I have got fine dining, garage, lot. And in chemicals, I have got bar, casual dining, everything, right? So you can click on include values. Okay, so if at all, if you have selected any value by mistake, you can again click on this. Okay, click on this and click on exclude values. Okay, so if at all, if you wanted to select 2 3 values together, just hold press and hold control button and keep selecting. Okay, so this is how you do in your system, like normal Windows, right? Yeah, so now I'm going to click on save. So before save, I can also select this option to see how this will be visible. Okay, so this is the controlling field and this is the dependent field. Okay, on the controlling field, I wanted something like agriculture and I have selected only 2 values, right? So that's how this is going to be displayed. Okay, now I select agriculture and going to show only garage and lot. Imagine I select apparel, I'll be shown with 3 values. So whichever values you define here, that is going to be there. Imagine agriculture is one of the state value. Imagine the state Arunachal Pradesh. Okay. So all the cities that are there under Arunachal Pradesh is automatically going to be visible in sub industry once I select this. Okay. So once I change this banking, this is also automatically going to be displayed with respect to the one that I select here. Okay. So this is called as uh, dependency fields. Okay. So the most common example that they will be using is this one. Okay, in account you have industry and sub industry, but you will be choosing this with state, city, country, all these things. Okay, so once you select the country, all the states are going to be visible, and like all the states corresponding to that country. And if you select any value in state, then the city is going to be displayed with all the cities that are there under the value for which you selected state. Okay. Yeah.
Can we type these values?
Sorry.
How can we type these values manually?
Yeah. So that's nothing. So you can make a field dependent with pick list or multi-select pick list. Okay. So you have two data types, right? Like two different data types for pick list when you create a pick list field. So when I say pick list field, it's going to have this right, this symbol. Okay, so you're going to get this drop down. So pick list is drop down list box. So you can make this dependent fields only using this pick list field. It can be a single pick list or multi-select pick list. Okay, and the values that you wanted to, so now you ask like if I wanted to add some values. Okay, so simply you're going to go to that particular field. Okay, and you have this pick list, industry pick list values. Okay, so these are all the active values that are present under that particular field. So once I okay, once I create a record, right? So these are all the active values. Imagine I don't want a retail from this. Okay. So I'm just going to search for retail and click on deactive. Okay. Which means this value will not, moving forward, this value will not be visible. Okay. This value is not going to be visible for me if I'm going to make that thing as inactive. Okay. Yeah. So that's one of the thing. And so yeah, to your question, Alagendri, if at all, if you wanted to add any new value, you're going to click on this new. Okay. So under that particular pick list
Okay.
field, you're going to add this value. Imagine you wanted to add something like A, B, C, D. So you're just going to do this way. Okay. Yeah. Mm, so here you will almost have the option to add to which record type you wanted this pick list values also to be added. Okay, because imagine you belong to premium and you have like extra values for that field, and the standard person he shouldn't be able to see like all the values. Okay, so that's how it is there, right? uh yeah, so that's one of the thing.
Okay.
And yeah, so yeah guys, and so that's how you add. Okay, so just make use of this field dependencies also. Okay, so in the document which I gave you, right, like for monkey mills, there is one requirement where you need to create a dependency, okay, between the fields. So I recommend you guys to like look into that document and see which part of the document requires the field dependencies to be created between the fields. Okay. Okay, all right. So this is called as field dependencies. Okay. So any field, if you take, so if you go to, yeah. So if you wanted to make any field dependent to this, you're simply going to have this value like pick list option or field dependencies, right? Like you can click on this field dependencies and you can define the controlling field. So imagine the new field dependency that you will be giving is for account type, and the dependent field is going to be imagine it can be customer type. Okay, so you can make these two fields as dependent on each other. Okay, So if at all, if the user is going to select the value business for account type pick list field, he'll be displayed with whatever options I'll be selecting. Okay, so now I wanted like existing customer and prospect, I can choose this. And for committee, I need like vendor, then I can choose this. And for government, I can choose prospect and vendor. So this is something that I can choose. Okay, so it's not like only there is these many things available. As you click next or as you click view all, right, you'll be having all the values that are present. So since now in account type I have only 5 values, it pretty much showed me in one page. Okay, but in the before page where I showed you in industry, it has a lot of things, right? Like in that thing you shouldn't be like, okay, in single page I'm able to see only these much, I don't find the other values. Okay, you need to click on next to see what are all the things that will be sufficient or good for you. Okay, yeah, so that's one of the thing. And yeah guys, and you will be able to fix it for yeah, I think, yeah, we have it for yeah, we can have this thing. Okay, and yeah, you guys can have a look at how you can try that in your org. Okay, and yeah, how to create an app in Salesforce. As I already told you, creating an app in Salesforce is something not a rocket science thing. Okay, so if you take Android apps and all, you need, yeah, you pretty much have all these tools available. Okay, yeah, you pretty much have all the tools available to create any app, right? But the thing is, yeah, but the thing is, like, you need to, yeah, you need to be in a position like to know how to create and how you could actually, use that thing, right? For example, you can create your own app and make it available on the Play Store, which means Salesforce Play Store. When I say Salesforce Play Store, it has a name called Salesforce App Exchange. Okay, so yeah, so that's one of the thing. And there are like two apps that you will be able to create. Okay, so I can show you the path like how you can go to create a thing. Okay, so once you go to setup and you go to app. Okay, so you get something called app manager. Okay, so in the app manager, you'll be pretty much able to create your own app. Okay, new lightning app or connected app. So that's the thing that they're saying. So the console app or the custom app. Okay, the general app that you see it here. Okay, so you will be able to create two types of apps. And yeah, so that's one of the thing. And there are like two different apps. One is like free apps and paid apps. Like this is similar to Google Play Store, right? So if at all, if you there will be some apps where they charge you for their so once you wanted to download their thing, you you'll be charging, right? So that's the thing. Okay, so there are like a lot of third party applications in Salesforce app exchange itself, right, which helps in Salesforce. So as Salesforce is booming, they like those guys are eventually growing because they are integrating those with Salesforce. And imagine you don't have to switch between applications to view or to get a job done. Okay, directly you're going to have all the things in one application called Salesforce, which is like which you would have like 360-degree view to the data that you're seeing. Okay, so yeah, so that's when you will be knowing like yeah, the data, right? And yeah, you will be able to create your own packages. And manage package is something that you will not be able to change it by yourself. Okay, which means that manage package is something that is provided by that particular company. So imagine if Zoom, if you wanted to integrate Zoom, right, this Zoom application with Salesforce. So there is one app called um I think Zapier. Okay, so that app is going to integrate yeah, Salesforce with Zoom application. Okay, so you'll be able to schedule a meeting, the Zoom meeting in Salesforce itself. Once you schedule a meeting Zoom, it's automatically going to send a Zoom invite as per the thing. So that's one of the interesting feature. Like, it's not only on Zoom, it's on other applications as well. So for example, if at all, if your client is using Microsoft Outlook and they wanted some integration, like they wanted to uh, integrate the mail, saying like, if at all, if a mail is coming, incoming mail is coming, and you would have an option to add that particular contact. So imagine I am sending a mail to Kishore. Okay, so Kishore haven't got any mail from me previously, and this is the first time he's receiving the mail from me. Okay, so once he receives that mail from me, imagine he wanted to add me as a contact. Okay, so that contact, he wanted to be he wanted my contact to be reflected in Salesforce as well. So that's when Outlook people, they have provided as a third party app. Like, you'll be able to sync the events or the records, all these things between Outlook and Salesforce. So for example, if at all, if there is a new email coming with a different person, and you wanted that, I've told you, right, like the contact that you wanted to add, that person, you wanted to add it as a contact record in Salesforce, you will be able to do it. You just have that button called add to Salesforce, and once you click on that, it will be added. So it's not like only you have to do it manually, you can also have that automated. Okay, so once you click one button called allow sync both ways, if at all a record is created in Salesforce, that contact record is going to be visible in Outlook as well. If at all, if there is an incoming mail from a new person and you wanted that person to be added as a new contact in Salesforce, you can do that as well. Okay, so there is like both ways, and this is one of the thing that your org or your your business, they would be like, yeah, they'd ask you to. And the difference between managed package and unmanaged packages, managed package is something that is defined, predefinedly given. Okay, you will not be able to make any changes. So if you ask me Zoom, okay, they are managed package, so you'll not be able to go inside their package and change the custom logics or the logic in the code components. Okay, so they'll be providing you code components. Once you install that thing, and all the components that are related to that Zoom application,